Hey guys, welcome to another video. This video is going to be a little bit different than you're used to. We're going to be doing a do-it-yourself video series here on the channel. So this is going to be a little bit different than you're used to. Like I said, it's going to be more of kind of odd and end jobs around the house to kind of make the house function a little bit better. This one in particular is going to be fixing up the studio that we record in, specifically the overhead camera. Right now we're using the Logitech C920, which is a great webcam. Really enjoy using it. It's perfect for video conferencing, for streaming, and podcasting and things like that. We're still going to use it for that purpose. This upgrade is more so for our over-the-head camera. And one of the things that we haven't released yet, but have been recording and have been editing, is tabletop games. And I've recently recorded a few kind of like how to play the game type of segments and things like that, using the C920 as our over-the-top camera. Now, like I said, for the podcast, it works great. You've got this really crisp picture from up to it's usually about 3 feet. Once you kind of go past that, it starts to get a little blurry, a little hard to recognize, and you can start to see the pixelation a little bit. When you're doing the things that we were trying to do with top down, looking at like board games and miniatures and text and things like that, to make sure that the camera was off screen, it had to be more than 3 feet up. So what we were running into is a really poor picture for the overtop view, and that was the one. It's a tabletop game. You want to see the tabletop, what it looks like. And I know we're a small channel, don't have a lot of money to spend to throw around, but I know we can do better. My wife's a photographer. We've got access to 2 higher end Nikon cameras, so we're going to use those. What we're going to do today is we're going to basically upgrade our current system. Right now, our setup is kind of a hodgepodge of her equipment, right? So the setup that we've got going right now is, we've got her, one of her boom arms that holds up the aforementioned Logitech C920. And then we use one of the Nikon cameras forward facing. But like I said, the one that we're going to upgrade now is the overhead camera. We're going to use one of those Nikon cameras to shoot down. Now, the problem that we ran into was, these arms will hold this practically weightless Logitech webcam. But when it comes time to hold, this bulky camera, it doesn't hold it very well. It's not very steady. We have to weigh down the other side of the tripod. It's just not conducive. We even went as far as to string up the actual camera itself. And I know my wife would not be happy knowing that her, $1,000 camera is being held from the ceiling by some string over a concrete floor. So I can't in good conscience do that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put up a couple devices up above in the unfinished side of the basement in our studio, and see where it goes. So like I said, we don't have a lot of money to spend, so we're going to be working with a couple 2x4s and some 1x2s and a handful of screws, and see what we can get done. Now, the one device that I will like to shout out is this device right here. This was recommended by Paul's Hardware, and I'll link to his channel here in the description to the episode that he brought this up, but he does a lot of these do-it-yourself videos, so shout out to Paul for this awesome tech. Essentially, it's an arm that has a 3/8 hole on the bottom of it, so we've got a couple bolts here that, a couple hex bolts that will fit that hole, that size, that we can put through our 2x4s, and kind of suspend it in the air more reliably than some string. So, it's got this quick release quick release lever here that really allows us to kind of take it to the next level, where we can keep this little attachment on the bottom of the camera, so when she's off doing her business and shooting, she can just leave this on, and then when I need to record, I can just take it and plop it back on there and tighten her down like so, and it'll be up. This whole arm thing will stay in the ceiling, up out of the way. And it's adjustable, 360 degrees, and it's got a locking lever so it stays locked in a certain position. So this will kind of alleviate a couple issues, right? So like setup for one of these episodes or one of these recordings with that we use the overhead camera can be tedious. It can take up to an hour to set up all this equipment, make sure the arm's set up. And on top of that, it's not consistent, right? So if I set it up one day, take it down that night after shooting, and I go to set it up, a couple days later, it's not going to be in the exact same position. So, shots are going to look a little off and things like that versus the other camera. So we're trying to go for consistency here. So we'll go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and cut some 2x4s, drill some holes, and hopefully we'll see how this goes. We'll put some type of information into the description as far as measurements and things like that. Again, this is the unfinished side of the basement, so one of the foreseeable issues going down the line is what happens when we go to finish this side of the basement. This contraption will no longer be valid, and we'll have to find a way to we'll go back to the drawing board, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Alright guys, so we've got everything set up here. Ran into a little bit of problems on the side here, where we've got some of my electric wires running just above my guide here. But the way this will work is C-clamp holds the train here to the track. We put the camera, obviously the camera that's in my hand, attaches here, and I can just, this is our top-down view. To change the actual positioning of the camera, front to back, we can undo the C-clamp, move this forward along the track, C-clamp it back down, and good to go. I've also added a couple of extra holes to the left and right of the center one, just to give me a little bit extra variation. But for the most part, we should be good here on that front. So turned out pretty good. Happy with it. So yeah. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. We really do appreciate it. It looks like this was a success. Even though it was very bare bones and very limited as far as the construction goes, like I said, I'm a do-it-yourself kind of guy, and this is very bare bones. It's a couple dollars worth of wood, the $15 arm, which is definitely high quality. The most expensive part of this whole project, but it was a success. So leave us a thumbs up if you liked it. If you liked the video, comment below letting us know what you thought of the video, what we should work on next, and we'll go from there. Really do appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out for more videos about gaming, fixing up our in-home studio, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.